Good day, nurses. Now let's discuss chemotherapy. So when we say chemotherapy, this is used as a anti-cancer medication or drug to destroy or inhibit the growth of rapidly dividing cells, particularly the malignant cells. So pag sinabi natin kasing cancer class, ang characteristic ng ating cancer cell, sila ay rapidly dividing cells. Ibig sabihin ng rapidly dividing cells, mabilis silang dumami, mabilis silang mag-multiply or mag-divide. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, di ba, ang bilis ng progression ng may mga cancer. Bakit? Kasi nga, yung ating cancer cell is rapidly dividing cells. Okay? So, and aside from that, your chemotherapy class attack or disrupt the cell cycle. Okay, kung mapapansin niyo yung cell cycle natin, 'di ba? Na-remember yung mitosis natin, meiosis, okay? These are the cell cycle. So kung mapapansin natin sa cell cycle natin, dito nagkakaroon ng cell division. Ibig sabihin dito nagkakaroon ng multiplication. So kailangan i-prevent natin or inhibit natin yung process ng multiplication para hindi na dumami yung ating cancer cell. Okay, so when we say cancer class or chemotherapy, sabi natin affects the rapidly dividing cells. Ibig sabihin niyan, tinatamaan niya daw or pinapatay niya yung mga rapidly dividing cells in the body. At isa na nga dun, yung cancer. But the problem is, in our body, there's a rapidly dividing cells, okay? May mga type or may mga classifications tayo ng cells sa ating katawan na mabilis mag-divide or dumami. So it means class, kapag nagki-chemotherapy tayo, hindi lang cancer cells ang kanyang inaapektuhan. Unlike sa radiation therapy natin, specific lang na inaapektuhan niya ang mga cancer cell. But here in chemotherapy class, nadadamay pati mga normal cells. Okay, nadadamay pati mga normal cells. Ibig sabihin, normal and abnormal ang kanyang target. So, dalawa sila namamatay. So, it means pag once na nasira yung ating abnormal cells, because of chemotherapy, ganun din ang ating normal cells. Madadamay sila. And what are the rapidly dividing cells in our body? So, ito yung mga rapidly dividing cells in the body natin. Una natin, we have the bone marrow. Remember sa bone marrow natin, dito ang production ng ating mga blood cells. Diba? Dito nangyayari yung hematopoiesis. Okay, so sa bone marrow natin, dito ang production ng RBC, WBC, and the platelets. Okay? Sa GI tract natin, okay, si GI tract, isa rin siyang rapidly dividing cells. Usually, kapag nagki-chemotherapy tayo, ang affected dyan, the mouth, the throat, and the intestine. Next, we have this skin. Okay? Si skin natin that can lead to dryness. Okay? So, pag bone marrow yan class sa RBC natin, di ba? Pag ibig sabihin, kapag once na nag-undergo tayo ng chemotherapy, bababa ang ating RBC, WBC, and the platelet. Magkakaroon tayo ng pancytopenia. Okay, so mababa yung mga blood cells natin. Pag mababa ang RBC natin class, that can lead to anemia. Kaya isa sa mga manifestation ng ating chemotherapy or side effect niya, anemia. Next, your WBC, pag bumaba, risk for infection. Platelet natin, mababa din, risk for bleeding. Okay, so dito pa lang class, alam na natin yung mga possible side effect and the intervention na pwede natin i-apply kapag ang pasyente natin ay nag-a-undergo ng chemotherapy. Next natin sa GI tract natin, affected. So masisira yung mga mucous lining natin. Pag nasira yung mga mucous lining natin, mawawalan tayo ng protection. Okay, kaya ang mangyayari sa ating bunganga, magkakaroon ng mouth ulcer. Magsusugat-sugat. Aside from that, kung magkakaroon ng mouth ulcer, magkakaroon din, pwede ding mag-lead yan sa gastritis. Okay, and yung pinaka-most common, the nausea and the vomiting. Sa skin, magiging dryness. Hair follicle natin is a rapidly dividing cells din. Kaya ang mangyayari, maglalagas ang ating buhok, magkakaroon ng alopecia. Magkakalbo ang pasyente. And then next, for reproductive cells natin, magkakaroon daw ng infertility and sterility. Okay, magkakaroon ng infertility and sterility. Anong pinagkaiba ni infertility and sterility? Pag sinabi natin infertility, infertile, ibig sabihin sa mga babae yan. Okay, sa mga babae, hindi ma-fertilize yung kanilang egg. And then, pag sterility naman, usually sa mga men. Okay? Sa mga lalaki to. Okay? Your sterility. Okay? So, usually, hindi magkakapag-create dyan ng offspring kapag nag-undergo ng chemotherapy. Kasi nga, nasisira si ovary and the sperm cells ng mga lalaki. Okay, so for us to easily understand yung action ng ating cell, ng ating chemotherapy, balikan natin yung ating cell cycle. Sa cell cycle natin, class, meron tayong dalawa. Okay, we have two types ng ating cell cycle, your interphase and the mitotic phase. Pag sinabi nating interphase, dito yung the period of growth and preparation. This is the longest phase. Okay, longest phase ng cell cycle. Pag mitotic phase naman, dito nangyayari yung cell division. Ibig sabihin, from single parent cell, nagkakaroon sila ng two daughter cells. Tapos etong dalawa na to, dadami na naman yan. Okay, dadami na naman siya hanggang sa dadami yung cells natin. Yan yung ating the cell division. Okay, kaya dumadami ang ating mga cells. Kaya dumadami si cancer cells because of this cell cycle. Okay, so punta tayo sa specific natin. Your G1 to G2, this is the interphase. Your M phase, ito si mitotic phase. Okay, so G1 natin, class, always remember lang, para mabilis nating maintindihan kung ano nangyayari dito sa cell cycle natin, we should memorize the grow, copy, review, and divide. Okay. So, una, ibig sabihin, sa G1 daw, ang nangyayari daw dyan, grow. Okay, ibig sabihin ng grow, the cell. Okay, the cell size. Okay, the cell grow in size. Okay, lumalaki daw yung ating cell. Usually dito yung nangyayari, yung tinatawag natin na RNA and the protein synthesis. Okay? So, dito nangyayari sa G1 natin yung RNA and protein synthesis. Bakit ba kailangan ng RNA? Usually, class, kailangan ng RNA and protein dahil sila yung makakatulong sa pag-produce ng enzyme. Kapag walang enzyme, class, walang DNA replication. Kailangan si DNA replication, class, para magkaroon ng cell division. Pag walang DNA replication, walang cell division. Ibig sabihin, hindi dadami ang ating cell. Kaya kailangan natin ng enzyme. This enzyme, class, usually sa G1 natin, dito nangyayari yung grow and preparation. Pine-prepare niya, dapat merong RNA synthesis and the protein synthesis para sa ganun, pagdating sa S phase natin, dito na papasok yung copy. Ibig sabihin ng copy, dito nangyayari yung DNA synthesis. Okay? Diyan nangyayari yung DNA synthesis. Kaya nga, kailangan ng RNA and protein synthesis para magkaroon ng enzyme. And this enzyme, pag meron na tayong enzyme, makakatulong yan for the DNA synthesis. Bakit? Diba, catalyst si enzyme natin. Siya yung magpapabilis ng process ng ating DNA synthesis. Okay, pag once na meron ng DNA synthesis, papasok yan sa third phase natin, which is i-review niya. Okay, i-review niya. Ibig sabihin ng review, the cell checks if, okay, the cells checks if everything is correct. So, again, sabi natin DNA synthesis kanina class, di ba na-remember ninyo yung chromosomes natin? Di ba we have 23 pairs of chromosomes in our body? Okay, may 23 pairs tayo. Ang chromosomes na yan, dapat pare-parehas sila ng genetic information. Dapat pare-parehas sila ng DNA properties. Ngayon, kapag once na may problem, okay, may pagkakaiba doon sa ating pair ng chromosomes, dyan na-build or na-form yung mga disorder natin, di ba? Katulad ng mga Down syndrome natin, your trisomy 18, your trisomy 21, okay, nagkakaroon ng problem sa genetic information. Kaya kapag once na nagkaroon ng DNA synthesis, ika-copy yung genetic information ng one chromosome to another chromosome. Ngayon, pagdating sa G2 natin, kailangan niyang i-review. Okay? Tama ba yung na-copy? Same ba sila? Kapag once na tama, papasok na tayo sa cell division. Okay? Diyan na mangyayari yung ating cell division. Okay? Una, nag-grow. Pinipersi the RNA and the protein synthesis. Nagkaroon ng enzyme. Ready na for DNA synthesis. Nagkaroon ng copy, kailangan i-check siya. Pag na-check, nakitang kompleto, pasok na yan for cell division. Makakaproduce na tayo ng 2 daughter cell. Okay? So ngayon, ito, ba't ba natin dinidiscuss dito? Kasi ito, dito, yung effect ng ating chemotherapy. Okay? Dito ang effect ng ating chemotherapy. Dito sa ating cell cycle. For example, sa S-phase, okay, ini-inhibit ng ating chemotherapy yung S-phase. So, ibig sabihin, pag ini-inhibit si S-phase or tinarget si S-phase, magkakaroon ng RNA and protein synthesis. Magkakaroon ng enzyme. Kaso in-inhibit siya ni chemotherapy, magkakaroon ba ng DNA synthesis? Wala. Walang DNA synthesis. Kung walang DNA synthesis, walang review. Kung walang review, walang cell division. Or kung hindi naman, pwedeng ito ang i-target ng ating chemotherapy. Your M-phase, magkakaroon ng grow, magkakaroon ng copy, magkakaroon ng review, pero walang cell division. Bakit? In-inhibit siya ng ating chemotherapy. So kung walang cell division, hindi dadami ang ating cancer cell, hindi siya magkakaroon ng progress. Okay, kaya nga gamot ang ating chemotherapy or chemo drugs for patient with cancer. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang types ng ating chemotherapy. Your cell cycle is specific and the cell cycle non-specific. Okay? Ano pinagkaiba? Cell cycle is specific, ibig sabihin, class, specific yung target niya. Pag once naman na cell cycle non-specific, ibig sabihin kahit saan daw yung target niya dito. Okay? So, discuss natin tong dalawa. First one natin, we have the cell cycle specific. Ibig sabihin, specific yung target niya. Okay. So, first natin, sa cell cycle specific natin, meron tayong una, your anti-metabolites. Your anti-metabolites class target the S-phase. Okay? So, S-phase siya. Ibig sabihin, DNA synthesis ang kanyang tinatarget. Walang DNA synthesis, walang cell division. Meron tayong tatlong medication under your anti-metabolites. Una, we have the fluorouracil. Okay? Your fluorouracil. Si fluorouracil natin, also known as the 5-FU. Okay, your 5-FU. Usually, your fluorouracil given via IV route. Okay, IV route ang bigayan kay fluorouracil. Next natin your methotrexate. Your methotrexate, also known as the MTX. This is given via oral route, IV, IM, and IT. Si IT natin also known as the intrathecal. Pag sinabi nating intrathecal, doon in between ng ating spinal cord. Okay? So, doon sa may spinal natin, doon siya ina-administer. Yung parang epidural anesthesia natin. Okay? Your methotrexate. Next natin your methotrexate class given via oral, IVIM, and IT. Usually, binibigay to as immunosuppressant. Okay? Immunosuppressant. Okay, given as immunosuppressant for lupus and your rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, yan binibigay. Aside from that class, your methotrexate is common. Okay, common in OB cases. Common siya in OB cases. Bakit? Kasi your methotrexate, medication siya or treatment siya for age small or ectopic pregnancy. Okay? So, pag once na nagkaroon ng toxicity, okay, ng methotrexate, we give antidote. Okay, nagbibigay tayo ng antidote in case na merong toxicity. Yan yung tinatawag natin na leucovorin. Okay, that is the antidote for methotrexate toxicity. Next natin your 6-mecaptopirin. Your 6-mecaptopirin, also known as 6-MP. Okay, so your anti-metabolized class, these three, your fluorouracil, your methotrexate, and the 6-mecaptopirin can cause bone marrow suppression. Okay, nagkakause siya ng bone marrow suppression. Okay, so ibig sabihin pag sinusuppress na yung bone marrow natin, nagdi-decrease yung ating RBC, WBC, and the platelet. Bakit suppresses, di ba? It suppresses the bone marrow. So, pag sinuppress niya si bone marrow, suppress niya din yung function ng bone marrow natin. Kaya hindi tayo magkakaroon ng hematopoiesis. Kaya magdi-decrease yung ating mga blood cells. Next natin your vinca alkaloids. Your vinca alkaloids, letter V. Okay? Vinca alkaloids, meron tayong dalawa. Your letter V din. The vincristine and the vinblastine. Okay? These two class, your vincristine and vinblastine, can cause peripheral neuritis. Okay? It can cause peripheral neuritis. Ibig sabihin ng peripheral neuritis, meron daw tingling sensation sa kanyang extremities, sa kamay, paa. Nagtutusok-tusok yung kanyang kamay at paa. That is tingling sensation. Okay? Yan yung side effect or the complication ng ating vincristine and vinblastine. Okay, peripheral neuritis. Next naman natin, we have the cell cycle non-specific. Your cell cycle non-specific, first, ibig sabihin ng cell cycle non-specific, hindi to specific ang target niya. Kahit saan daw sa ating G1, S phase, G2, and M phase. Okay, hindi siya katulad ni, your vinca alkaloids class targets the M phase. Okay, M phase siya. Si ano natin, your antimetabolites S phase. Okay? Your M phase naman ito. Okay, balik tayo kay cell cycle non-specific natin. Your first cell cycle non-specific, we have the alkylating agent. Okay, your alkylating agent, we have letter C. Lahat sila letter C, alkylating agent. First, we have the cyclophosphamide. Okay, your cyclophosphamide, yung brand name niya, we have the Cytoxan. Okay, the Cytoxan. Okay, so given via oral route. Okay, so your cyclophosphamide class, the most common complication ng ating cyclophosphamide, we have the hemorrhagic cystitis. Okay. Cause common, the hemorrhagic cystitis. Okay, anong expected? Okay, kapag once na may hemorrhagic cystitis class, expected manifestation niya ay hematuria. Anong management natin? Management natin kapag once na nag-administer tayo ng cyclophosphamide is to increase oral fluid intake. Okay, to prevent hemorrhagic cystitis. And aside from that, we also administer medication. Okay, ano yung drug of choice kapag nagbibigay tayo ng cyclophosphamide? That is the Mesna. Okay, Mesna. Pag sinabi nating Mesna, ang action niya protects the bladder lining. Protects the bladder lining. So, bago tayo magbibigay ng cyclophosphamide, we need to administer Mesna para ma-prevent natin yung hemorrhagic cystitis na complication. Okay, next natin we have your cisplatin and your carboplatin. Your cisplatin and carboplatin, these are ototoxic. Okay, aside from that, these are also nephrotoxic. Okay. So, kapag ototoxic yan, manifestation natin kapag ototoxic, we have your tinnitus, your ringing of the ear. Okay. Kapag nephrotoxic naman yan, we need to watch out the BUN, CREA, and the urine output. Usually, pag BUN, CREA, tumataas yan pag nasisira ang ating kidney. Pag once naman na urine output, bumababa, decrease urine output, these are manifestation ng sira ang ating kidney. Nagkakaroon na ng nephrotoxic. That is cisplatin and carboplatin. Next naman natin, we have the anti-tumor antibiotics. Okay? So, your anti-tumor antibiotics, we have two. We have your bleomycin and your doxorubicin. Pag sinabi nating bleomycin, letter B. Ibig sabihin, isa sa mga complication niya, bleeding. Aside from that, letter B din siya, baga. Ibig sabihin ng baga, lungs. It can cause pulmonary toxicity. Okay. Ibig sabihin, pulmonary toxic daw ang ating bleomycin. Kaya kapag magbibigay tayo ng bleomycin, we need to monitor the O2 saturation. Okay? We need to monitor the O2 saturation ng ating pasyente dahil siya ay pulmonary toxic. Okay? Next natin, we have the doxorubicin. Your doxorubicin class, your bleomycin given via IV, IM, and subcutaneous route. Okay. And for your doxorubicin given via IV route. Okay? Your doxorubicin, also known as the red evil. Okay? So, bakit siya red evil? Makikita natin sa complication. Sa complication ng ating doxorubicin class, meron tayong mnemonic na ADRA. Your ADRA. What is A? Your alopecia. D for diarrhea. For R, red to orange urine. And secretion. Kaya siya tinawag na red evil because of this complication or side effect. And your A, I should say, arrhythmia. Okay? It can cause arrhythmia. Pag sinabi nating arrhythmia, irregular heart rhythm. So it means that your doxorubicin is cardiotoxic. Okay? Your doxorubicin is cardiotoxic. So, yan yung ating antibiotic medication. Okay? Your anti-tumor antibiotic. Next natin, we also give corticosteroid. Okay? Nagbibigay din tayo ng corticosteroid. Usually, yung corticosteroid natin, your dexamethasone. Okay? Your dexamethasone can cause puffy face. Okay? Pag once na nag-administer tayo ng dexamethasone, lumulobo yung mukha ng isang tao. Okay? So these are the most common chemotherapy medication or drugs. Okay? So for us to easily understand, okay, para mas ma-remember natin siya ng mabuti, we need to use the Chemotoxman. Okay, ang pangalan nito ay Chemotoxman. Your Chemotoxman. Ibig sabihin ng Chemotoxman class, chemotoxic man. Ibig sabihin, dito daw natin makikita lahat ng toxic effect ng chemotherapy drugs or medication. Okay? So, dito. Yan si Chemotoxman natin. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin Chemotoxman class, dito natin makikita yung side effect or the toxic effect ng ating medication. First natin, yung sa face niya. Diba? Sa face niya, diba, makikita nyo bilog na bilog. So, it means your Chemotoxman, okay, puffy is face. Okay, lagay mo dyan, puffy. Puffy. Face is puffy pala. Puffy face because of dexamethasone. Okay, nakita nyo, di ba? Bilog na bilog yung mukha niya dahil sa dexamethasone yan. Next natin, your letter C. Ayan yung C natin. 1, letter C. 1, letter C. 1, letter C. 1, letter C. Okay, yan yung letter C natin. C for cisplatin. And carboplatin. Okay, your cisplatin and carboplatin. Sabi natin kanina, your cisplatin and your carboplatin ototoxic and nephrotoxic. Kaya kung papansin ninyo, sila ay ototoxic, nasa tenga siya, ototoxic, letter C, nasa kidney siya, nephrotoxic. Okay? So C for cisplatin and C for carboplatin. Next natin, we have letter V. Ito naman si letter V natin, class. Ito si letter V sa kamay, and paa. Okay? So, letter V natin, V for vinca alkaloids. Okay, V for vinca alkaloids. Your vincristine, okay, your vincristine and your vinblastine. Okay, your vincristine and your vinblastine, letter V. Kamay, paa, sabi natin your vincristine and vinblastine can cause peripheral neuritis. Ayan, your vincristine and vinblastine, peripheral neuritis. Sabi natin kanina, sa kamay at paa, may tingling sensation, letter V, vincristine and vinblastine. Next, your letter B. Ito si letter B natin, nasa lungs. Okay, nasa lungs. Letter B for bleomycin. Okay, your letter B for bleomycin. Ibig sabihin ng bleomycin, letter B nasa baga. Diba? Letter B for bleeding. Ayan siya, balikan natin si B natin, bleeding, blaga, bleomycin. Ibig sabihin, si baga, pulmonary, toxic. Kaya asan siya? Nasa kanyang lungs. Because your bleomycin is pulmonary toxic. Next natin your letter D. Ayan si letter D. Nasa heart naman siya. Letter D for doxorubicin. Okay? Your doxorubicin. Ano sabi natin? Your doxorubicin, also known as red evil. Bakit? It can cause red to orange urine. Ano pa sabi natin? Arrhythmia. Kasi siya ay cardiotoxic. Asan ulit si letter D? Nasa puso. Kasi siya ay cardiotoxic. Next natin your CUI. Your CUI for cyclophosphamide. Okay. Cyclophosphamide, as you can see class, nasaan siya? Nasa bladder. Anong kulay niya? Red. Ibig sabihin may bleeding. So your cyclophosphamide can cause hemorrhagic cystitis. Tignan natin kung tama. Cyclophosphamide, ayan, cause hemorrhagic cystitis. Tama, kaya nasa bladder siya. Okay? Tsaka kulay red siya. Your cyclophosphamide, hemorrhagic cystitis. Next natin your 5. Your 5 for 5FU. Your 6 for 6MP. Okay? And your M for MTX. Okay. 5FU, 6MP, and M for MTX. Tignan natin si anti-metabolites natin. Okay. Your fluorouracil, 5FU, methotrexate, MTX, 6-mecaptopurine, your 6MP. Anong cause? Bone marrow suppression. Let's check. Okay. 6MP, 5FU, 6MP, MTX. Your fluorouracil, your 6-mecaptopurine, and your methotrexate. Ayan siya, oh. Nasa bone sila. Diba? Nasa loob sila ng paa. So, ibig sabihin, nasa buto. Can cause bone marrow suppression. This is your chemotoxman or the chemotoxic man. Okay? So, ano yung mga management natin pag si patient ay may or nag-a-undergo ng chemotherapy? Una, sabi natin, rapidly dividing cell can cause bone marrow suppression. Okay? Number 1 natin is the bone marrow. 1, bone marrow. Okay, bone marrow suppression. Ano ang manifestation natin dito? 'Di ba? Pag bone marrow suppression, nagkakaroon ng pancytopenia. Pag may pancytopenia class, nagdi-decrease yung tatlo. The RBC, the WBC, and the platelets. Okay. Pag mababa si RBC natin, that can lead to anemia. Okay. Your WBC, risk for infection. And for platelet, bleeding. So, ano ang management natin sa anemia? Okay, your anemia natin, kailangan una, bed rest ang pasyente. Ililimit natin yung activity niya. Bakit? Kulang siya ng oxygen supply sa katawan. Kasi nga, decrease yung RBC. Di ba remember that RBC carries oxygenated blood. So, kahit marami kang oxygen supply, kung decrease naman yung carrying capacity ng ating katawan ng oxygen, decrease pa rin ang tissue perfusion. Kaya kailangan bed rest lang si patient kasi nga meron siyang fatigue. Okay? Fatigue. Next, leukopenia yan. Kailangan kapag once na infection, kailangan natin i-isolate si patient for isolation. Bawal siya sa mga crowded places. Okay? Isolation. No to crowded places. Okay, bawal din siya sa mga fresh food and raw food. Bawal siya sa mga fresh fruit, bawal siya sa mga raw food. Yung mga hindi luto na pagkain, katulad ng kilawin, ng sashimi, yun yung mga bawal sa kanya. Bawal din yung mga fresh flour, fresh vegetable, fresh flowers. Okay? So, pwede naman ng fresh fruit plus as long as hugasan ng mabuti at tanggalin yung balat. Si fresh vegetable, bawal. Basta lutuin. Okay? Dapat lutuin. Bawal din sa kanyang steak. Bawal sa kanya yung mga medium rare. Kailangan well cooked. well done. Ganun lahat ang pagkain niya. Okay? And aside from that, sa anemia class, we also yung diet, bibigay tayo ng organ meat kay patient. Okay? Organ meat. Okay? Para mag-increase yung yung RBC ng ating pasyente. For bleeding class, we need to priority safety. Okay? The safety ng pasyente natin. Okay? Pwede bang mag-shave? Yes, pwede tayong mag-shave. As long as electric razor ang gagamitin. Okay? Your electric razor. Yan yung gagamitin natin. Bawal tayong gumamit ng what they call this one, yung blade, mga matutulis. Okay, for toothbrush, pwede naman toothbrush basta soft bristled. Okay, so yung soft, bawal yung hard kasi nga magdudugo yung gums niya. Bawal din siyang mag-nail cutter, bawal siyang maglakad ng nakapaa-paa. Okay, kasi kapag once na nasugatan yan, magbi-bleed at magbi-bleed yan. Okay, so yan yung ating management kapag bone marrow suppression. Then next natin do sa reproductive natin, di ba? It can cause sterility and infertility. So kailangan, anong management natin kapag may sterility and infertility? We need to discuss. Okay, discussed with the patient before the start of treatment. Okay, we need to discuss the patient yung effect ng ating chemotherapy na nagkakos siya ng infertility and ng sterility. Okay, so yun yung mga kailangan nating i-discuss kay patient. Aside from that, we need to offer alternatives. Okay, we need to offer alternatives. Ano yun? Your sperm banking. Okay, before pa lang mag-start, kailangan na mag-sperm banking si patient. I-save niya yung mga sperm. Para sa ganon, pag nag-start na yung chemotherapy, mamamatay kasi yung mga sperm cells niya. And then next natin sa GI tract. GI tract, ano yun? Nagkakaroon daw ng nausea and vomiting. Okay, sa nausea and vomiting natin, class, dapat magbigay tayo before the procedure, before pre-treatment, we need to administer antiemetic para hindi siya magsuka. Okay? And then post-treatment, anong gagawin natin kay patient? Kailangan diet niya bland. Walang lasa. Okay? Bland diet siya and wag siyang kakain ng mga spices. Bawal sa kanyang spices. Okay, so kapag once na naka-experience si patient ng nausea and vomiting, we also give crackers. Okay, crackers. Para hindi siya maduwal at magsuka. Kasi usually, yung crackers natin, it absorbs the excessive acid in the stomach. Okay, absorb na yan para hindi siya mag-regurgitate. Ma-prevent si nausea and vomiting. Okay, so yan yung gagawin natin. And for hair follicle, we need to offer wig. Okay? We need to offer or use wigs kay pasyente. Wigs, ano pa? Turbans. Kung ayaw niya ng turbans, scarf. Pwede din scarf or cups. Pwede sa kanya yan. Or pwede din yung bonnet. Okay? Usually, binibigay natin to before the procedure. Before treatment. Okay? So, before hair loss class, kailangan ng kalbuhin si patient. Bakit? Para mag-decrease yung anxiety. Kasi 'di ba, tayo pa lang kapag nagsusuklay na tayo tapos naglalagas na yung buhok, kinakabahan ka na. How much more sa pasyente natin? So para hindi niyang makita na naglalagas yung kanyang buhok, kalbuhin na natin siya before mag-start yung treatment. Usually, yung hair loss natin, okay, yung hair loss, temporary lang yan. Temporary effect lang yan. Okay, babalik yung ating buhok, okay, babalik or bahahaba ulit yung buhok 6 months after treatment. Okay, babalik din yan. Okay, so babalik at bahahaba yung buhok 6 months after chemotherapy or treatment. So yan yung gagawin natin kay patient. Okay, sa skin, magkakos ng dryness, kaya kailangan mild soap lang. Okay, mild soap lang ang gagamitin kay patient. Okay, so one of the complication or side effect, okay, side effect ng ating chemotherapy, meron tayong tinatawag na extravasation. Okay? Magkakaroon ng extravasation. Your extravasation. Okay, your extravasation. Pag sinabi nating extravasation class, this is also known as chemical burns. Okay? Chemical burns. Okay, magsusunog. Okay, magkakaroon ng sunog dun sa may skin. Okay, bakit nagkakaroon ng chemical burns? Kasi nga nagkakaroon daw ng tinatawag natin na leakage. Okay, nagkakaroon ng leakage of chemotherapy drugs. Okay, nagkakaroon ng leakage ng chemo drugs. Okay, so anong side effect, signs and symptoms ng extravasations natin? Redness on IV site. Redness on IV site. Next, pain or burning sensation. After pain, magkakaroon ng swelling or edema. Okay, next, swelling or edema. Anong gagawin natin kapag may mga ganito na tayo, or for us to prevent your extravasation, we need to slow the infusion rate. Slow infusion rate. Kasi usually, dahil masyadong mabilis yung infusion, kaya nagkakaroon ng extravasation. To prevent extravasation, we need to slow the infusion rate. Okay? So, ano ang ating gagawin, management natin, pag may extravasation na? First natin gagawin, stop infusion. Pag may extravasation na, stop the infusion. Okay? And then, apply cold compress. And 3, notify the physician. Okay? But, this is not applicable. Your apply cold compress not applicable for Vinca alkaloids. Okay? Hindi siya nagte-take effect or hindi siya pwede sa Vinca alkaloids. Kasi kapag nagbigay ka ng what they call this one, ng cold compress sa mga Vinca alkaloid, it can cause vasoconstriction. So, ang mangyayari dyan, yung leakage ng chemo drug doon sa ating tissue, magkakos yan or magtatrap siya. Ulitin ko, your apply cold compress for Vinca alkaloids is not applicable. Bakit? Kasi kapag nagkaroon ng leakage sa chemo drug at nagbigay ka ng cold compress sa mga sa mga patient na may nag-undergo ng vinca alkaloids therapy, yung leakage na yan matatrap yan doon sa loob ng tissue. Pag natrap yan sa loob ng tissue, that can cause necrosis. Unlike sa other chemotherapy medications natin, hindi yan nagko-cause ng trapping. Hindi siya nagko-cause ng necrosis. Okay, so bawal gamitin si cold compress sa mga vinca alkaloids. Okay, again, basta pag may extravasation class, nakikita mo na may may redness, pain, burning sensation, swelling or edema, tapos idagdag nyo pa walang backflow. Okay, no backflow, agad-agad yan na ay extravasation. Pag may manifestation ng ganan, agad-agad stop the infusion. Okay, so stop the infusion. That's the chemotherapy natin.